Hey guys, waiting on this owner to get here. Got about 5 minutes. Real quick, I just wanted to update you. I told you I was going to be on Michael Lofton's Reason and Theology this evening. We changed it to next Thursday, so I think it's the 20th. Same time, 6 o'clock. It's going to be a live stream. And it's funny how things work out because I had so much going on tonight, and all week I knew it. I was like stressing out, trying to juggle things, trying to make it where I can do this. And last night I was thinking about it. I'm like trying to figure out, and I was like saying, should I email him and ask him if maybe we can change the date? And I said, man, it's the last minute. I shouldn't. I felt funny because he invited me on. I accepted it. And I know like he's super busy. Like yesterday, I think he did like 3 live streams within 2 hours because things were moving so fast in the church. So if you haven't seen it, check out his channel. Very interesting live feeds yesterday. I got home from work. I'm like, dude, this guy had 3 live feeds already. So praise the Lord for Michael. He's on it, defending the church. I'm really glad we got him on our side. But anyway, so I was like, man, this guy's super busy. He fit me in, a little old blue collar Catholic. He's letting me come on his show. I'm gonna say, oh, can you change the date for me? And I'm like, oh man, what do I do? I'm like wrestling in my head what I should do. And I see a notification. I got an email from him. He's like, hey brother, would it be possible to move tomorrow's interview to next week's, or whenever it's available, good for you? So I was like, bro, this is crazy. I was just thinking of that. So yeah, so it's going to be next week. And God does that. I know I've heard so many stories, and in my life too, where I have a plan and the plan changes, and then God uses it for good. So if you've got any testimonies like that, I'm glad. I'm sure people would be encouraged to hear it. Put it in the comments. How like something changed and you're like, oh crap, and then you realize that it was God's will. Years ago, I was mad because I was late for work because traffic was so bad, and so I went another way. Long story short, if I would have went the way that I normally go, there was an accident. So I feel like God protected me from an accident. So the little inconvenience of being late may have saved my life, So that's why St. Paul says we should give thanks in all things, because God, if you're a follower of Christ, all things work together for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So no matter what inconvenience or aggravations in life, let's try and thank the Lord. Know he knows he's a good father. A good father would never do anything to hurt his child. But and then I just wanted to touch base. I just read the news. I'm a news nerd, so the mainstream media probably isn't going to cover this. So a far left group, a bunch of these little radical Democrats attacked the congressional baseball game, and that's one thing we have left where it was just like civilized bipartisan baseball game from 1909. They've been playing this every year, the Republicans against the Democrats, and unfortunately the far left has every year attacks it. The most memorable one that a lot of people still don't know, because of course the media didn't cover it, was when a big Bernie Sanders supporter, after watching Rachel Maddow, if you're not familiar with Rachel Maddow, she's like a far left conspiracy theorist, real wackadoo. Like her she's been proven wrong so many times, but her people that watch her just love all her conspiracy theories, so they just feed on it, even when she's disproven. They make an excuse for her. But after binge watching Rachel Maddow, according to his friends, I think the guy's name was James Hotkins, if I remember, went to that ball game. This is, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. It's been a minute. And tried to kill all the Republicans, shot a few, and nearly killed Steve Scalise. Steve Scalise was in the hospital dying, and he made a recover. Since then, I think he's gotten cancer. He's been a Steve Scalise, and he's a good Catholic dude too, if I recall. And he's been struggling since then with a lot of issues because this guy nearly killed him. And again, far left Democrat, hates Republicans. There's so much hate on the left, but the media will always spin it to make it look like the Republicans are the bad guys. Last night, even at the congressional ball game, there was some pro-Hamas. So it'd be like pro-ISIS. When you say pro-Hamas, it's the same thing as pro-ISIS or pro-Al-Qaeda, pro-Taliban. Young college students that are so stupid, they think they're standing up for freedom. You have queers for Hamas. Hamas would kill you if you're queer. These people, like, you can't make this stuff up. It's like a Saturday Night Live satire. And I blame the media, because the media freaking, they lie. They outright lie to people. You got the media and the colleges that are funded. I did a video. They got like $8 billion from these Middle Eastern countries. And, you know, several, 8 billion rather, not million, 8 billion, and several billion from communist China. So, you know, all these other countries know they can't beat us militarily, so they're trying to beat us from within, you know, indoctrinating our children in colleges and stuff. But last night there was pro-Hamas protesters there, you know, of course. I think it was yesterday in New York, these pro-Hamas protesters protesting a bunch of Jews. They wouldn't let Jews walk by. And one of them went on the news, it was like NBC News or something, and said, they got it live, and said, I wish Hitler was alive. Now, if someone was at a Trump rally and said that, you would have heard about it, but you probably didn't hear about it because it was live, and they're not going to keep repeating that. But yeah, make no mistake, the hate, the anti-Semitism, anti-Jew. I'm having trouble with my words this morning. I was out of coffee, and I'm kind of behind on my caffeine account here in my brain. But anti-Semitism, the anti-Semitism has always been on the left. You know, you got a few right-wingers maybe, but 90%, even Alan Dershowitz, lifelong Democrat, a bundler for Obama and Hillary Clinton. A bundler, you know, he gathers, you know, like millions of dollars of donations, because you get capped off after a certain amount. So you have these Democrat activists that will bundle money, you know, that have big conferences or big dinners. So Alan Dershowitz was a bundler for Obama twice, Hillary when she ran. Even he said, because he's Jewish, even he said the hate, the anti-Semitism is all coming from the left today. It's like 99% from the left. And it's been that way for years. So the hate is on the left. The anti-Semitism is on the left. The racism is on the left. And people are starting to see it. People are starting to see it. So people are waking up. So that's the good news. But again, I just really want to let you know about Reason and Theology. It's going to be next week. It's going to be a live stream. So I didn't want you to tune in and say, what the heck? Where's Rob? So I think it'll be fun. Me and Michael have the same beliefs about the Pope and the church. And we both feel called to defend the church against the dissenters and the haters of the Vicar of Christ. So God bless and stay Catholic.